Ha! Now, this may look ridiculous, but this is exactly how some of us feel like with our gifts, our abilities, our talents. You just feel like you have a whole lot going on. This is even sort of like organized. So for some of us, we look like we're struggling with our abilities. Maybe you're writing, you're speaking, you're singing, you're coordinating, you're painting, you're designing, dressmaking, beat making, app design or app development, and all of the talent management, counseling, therapy. You have all those abilities. And you're wondering, what do I do with all? I'm being theatrical right now. What do I do with all those gifts? It can be overwhelming. Now, I usually tell people that people that have just one gift, they actually have an advantage. What's the advantage? Like, it's like someone who only has one shirt or one pair of jeans. You don't have to think, what am I wearing today? As a matter of fact, some of the most productive people in the world, like Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs, they developed a habit of wearing just their gray turtleneck and their pair of jeans. Why? It's easier to just wake up every day and wear the same thing over and over again. However, in the area of your gift, you didn't create yourself. You did not make yourself. You didn't gift yourself. You understand what I'm saying? God gave you the gifts. So, what do you do with all your gifts? Now, these are a number of my products. These are not all of my products, but these are a number of my products. And one of the things I want to talk about is how do you turn your gifts to your product? I'll do that in the next video. But in this video, I want to share with you what you do with your gifts. The very first thing you do with your gift is that you must be grateful for your gifts. I know that sometimes you might feel like I'm having these thoughts, ideas, concepts, inventions, and I wish I could sleep. You can't seem to shut it down. You're trying to sleep and you have all this maybe melodies floating through your mind or this pictures floating through your mind. You're like hypersensitive because almost everything is connecting to everything else. And you're like, wow, am I losing my mind or what? The first thing is be grateful for your gift. One of my biblical models is the King David. David was a psalmist, he was a poet, he was a shepherd, he was a king, he was a consultant in a manner of speaking, he was a military leader, he was a harpist. He had so many things going on, but one of the major things that we see in his life, one of the most recurring themes of his life was thanksgiving, gratitude, being able to celebrate God for the things that he had received. So the first thing you do with your gifts is you must be grateful for them. If you have many gifts, be grateful. If you have one gift, be grateful. If you have some gifts, be grateful. Why? Whenever you are grateful, your focus is shifting from yourself to God. And whenever your focus shifts to God, then you receive illumination, you receive light to be able to organize your gifts. So that's the first. Number two, you want to be able to make a list of all of your gifts. What can you do? What do you say you're good at? In fact, sometimes you get so familiar with the gifts and you're like, everybody can do it, but maybe not. Not everybody can do it the way you do it. So make a list of your gifts. The third thing you want to do is that you want to organize your gifts. And that's exactly where many people fail, particularly those who have a lot of gifts. A lack of organization, which means that they've not been able to put all of this together in a way that they can handle them. I'm able to carry all of this many items because I have organized them. So the biggest one is at the bottom, the smallest one is at the top, and vice versa here, right? These are organized, so they're easier to handle. If you feel like your gifts are spilling over, like your expressions are muddled up, like your abilities and possibilities are entangled, intertwined all over the place, that you're tripping for yourself or tripping in your gifts have become handcuffs that are binding your productivity, reducing your impact, and maybe even robbing you of a dimension of sanity. What is most likely going on is that your gifts are not organized, they're not streamlined, they're not prioritized, they're not put in a certain fashion where you're able to see what comes where and what should go where. That's the third thing. Organize your gifts. Disorganization is going to bring a lot of distress, discouragement, fear, and all of that. And once you've organized your gifts, the next thing you want to do is that you want to be able to create value from your gifts. So I have a number of t-shirts here. How did these things come about? They came about through the white paper series I was writing, right? So this one says, unshakable, God prepared my table, you can shake it. That was a white paper post. I created value from it. This one says, I'm not alone. Well, the album, the book, and all of that. This is a concept built around the ATM card, right? But instead of ATM as an automated teller machine, anytime money, ATM, right? And the bank of heaven, not the bank of the earth. And this one says, if you really want to spice up the world, ginger people, don't pepper them. And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. And so you have all of that. Why? I've been able to create value with my gifts, right? And once you've created value with your gifts, what's the next thing you do? You want to be able to share your gifts. In other words, distribute your gifts in a way that you're able to get reward for your gifts. People can pay you and thank you as you share value. And once you begin to do this, what you're doing is that you're blessing the world with your gifts. This is my very first book. I wrote it in 2008. Well, wrote it before 2008. Released it in 2008. That's 15 years ago, and it's still blessing lives. But I remember a couple of stories around this book. Let me share one or two of them with you. I remember when I wrote this book, I had to be the person selling the book myself, dispatching the book myself. I still remember going all the way to Unilag Post Office and then sending this to somebody in the far north. I had no idea that many years later, he would walk up to me to say, see, I started the business during my NYSC using your book. I started that business during NYSC and I made my first #1,000,000 as a copper because your book said, just do it. Then he said to me a year after I finished NYSC, I think 2 years actually, after finishing NYSC, I generated enough money from that business and another business to be able to pay for my master's degree in the UK. And I'm like, my God, even me, I did not do my master's degree in the UK and I may write a book. How far? But I'm just talking about the power and the possibilities behind your gifts, behind your creativity, behind your expressions. That's the story behind this one. I could tell you many stories about this one and this one. Someone said to me, I picked up this one and I couldn't stop reading until I finished, right? Someone said to me, I read a particular chapter of this book 5 times. That's what the person said to me. I read it over and over again until I found a new level of peace, a new level of intentionality and balance. I was so depressed, the person said, but your book helped me. So these are the things you do with your gifts. And once you've been able to do these things, you now also want to be able to build a system around your gifts. So number one, be grateful for your gifts. Don't complain, don't murmur, don't mourn. Number two, you want to be able to make a list of your gifts. Do like a gift audit. And when you join my new community, these are some of the things we're going to help you with. If they seem overwhelming or they seem too highfalutin or high-handed or exotic or sophisticated, we'll be able to guide you through that. And once you've done that as well, you want to create value from your gifts, create a system around your gifts so that it's sustainable and that you are able to bless more lives. With your gifts, with your creativity. Let me remind you again, don't feel guilty for your gifts. Don't feel perturbed, overwhelmed, anxious. Don't feel like you're an alien just because you have a gift or a creative idea or some inventive idea or option or innovation that you have brewing somewhere in your spirit. I trust that this has been helpful. Now, do me a favor, share this video with somebody in your life who has at least one gift, and that's everybody you know, right? Share this with them, but also tell me in the comment box what exactly stood out for you in this video so far. Don't forget, I have a new community I'll tell you more about in the next video, but fill in your details, send your full name and email address right now to the phone number on the screen. Fill in your details on the website being displayed on the screen or around the video so that we can get in touch with you. Somebody from my team can give you a call, walk you through the benefits of joining our new community, and together we can transform your life and change more lives and transform the world with the power of your gifts and your creativity. You are gifted to change the world. Don't hold back. Bless more lives, shine your light, and make a difference. I'll see you in the next video.